and early this year.
Oh gosh.
Hope Unfiltered podcast with Pastor Jay and Ren.
You are watching Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Just give an overview of what exactly is that split arrangement.
In the studio now, you don't need to register nothing. You don't need. We can do that another time. But then it becomes a hit, and then everybody starts to want to claim.
The laws that predate many of the independent countries' constitutions are going to be those colonial laws.
We know there are an infinite amount of circumstances that would lead to a murder.
I have a great idea and I have a great concept, but until it's actually expressed, it does not become intellectual property.
Accomplishments or targets of a forensic accountant is to quantify what may have been lost.
They believe we defend criminals and we manipulated the law and we exploited the system.
A responsible journalist will reach out to the person who they have the information on for a comment.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3. Search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available.
WESN.
Good morning, welcome to AM Prime on WESN. I am Takia Thompson, and today we have a lot in store for you. As we know, Trinidad and Tobago's culture can be defined in many aspects through art, food, and especially music. Our music tells our story. Over the years, our music has evolved and continues to do so. So, our country is known for different genres, especially Tassa. But we'd like to compare how this art form began back then to where it is now. This morning, Hummingbird's Gold Medal recipient, Tassa teacher, and author of A Beginning Guide to Tassa Drums, Lenny Kumar joins us to have this discussion. Good morning, Mr. Kumar.
Pleasant good morning to you.
Lovely to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here.
No problem. So we want to dive right into it one time. So can you give us a brief definition of what Tassa music is and how the art form began?
Okay, so I'll go straight into my forefathers. I'm a fifth generation into Tassa music. So the indentured laborers brought Tassa to Trinidad and Tobago between the indentured time. And I am fortunate to be in a family that brought music to Trinidad. And being the fifth generation is where the art form continue. And from my grandfather and all of them before me, they had this style of music.
Right.
And it continued where my father taught me to play the drum from a very tender age, like 5 years old, you know, and doing the music, doing the drums, there is where you learn the art form and take it to different levels, where I think about taking it to the highest level. So that's why where I am today. The tassa drum is basically 4 pieces of instrument. So it's a bass, the cymbals is jal, the tassa drum itself, it's a kettle drum. The word taj is a drum from India, and it means bowl. So taja, tassa, because of the different dialects in India, you find that the spelling and the pronunciation might be a little different. So in Trinidad here, the word tassa, it came, but Trinidad, like in the drum, is like a frozen India. From the time that it came there, here, we continue using the same name, and it never changed. Where dialect have changed in India and different parts of India, it have changed different names. So you might see similar drums, and then you might say, oh, it's different. The Trinidad drum is not tassa, but it's the same instrument, just it's like in the tassa family, you know, the drum family. Yeah?
That is very insightful already. And how was the tassa traditionally taught when you first started compared to how it is today? And are there any new techniques with it? Okay, so basically tassa are being taught by ear. So it's like somebody will say, like for instance, my dad would have told me, strike the drum here, beat this, hit it here, hit the center, hit the end, and create this song. So you'll play like words, you'll use words to create the music. So he will make up his own words for you to understand. Right. So I started tutoring like that, you know, sharing ideas, and even with my daughters, where we have an all-female tassa band, and I will tell them words, and you know, we kind of put them together, and it made me change because of traveling. So I traveled with tassa maybe about 17 different countries throughout the world, and traveling there, I do a lot of master classes in universities outside of Trinidad and mostly America. And doing master classes there, I realized that the level of music is way different. So I have to change my technique of teaching that just by word and think about notation. Because once you have script written music, it's easy for people who could read music to play. And there is where that I'm doing tutoring now with notation. So you've mentioned that, you know, you could listen and then, of course, being able to watch it and read. So you recently wrote a book, A Beginner's Guide to Tassa Drum. So can you share some details about your book?
Okay, so this here is a beginner's guide, A Beginner's Guide to Tassa Drums, right? So basically, I do like notation, so I use like universal percussion instrument notation, and I put it into the rhythm of tassa. So we have like, so I have history about the tassa, so they tell the story about what I just told you about, you know, and even in more depth, right, telling you about the instrument. So the book basically, so I show you like notation, how to time music. So we do like normal music notation. And then we do like, so here is like quarter notes and half notes and, you know, to keep the count of music. So this book basically could be self-taught. You know, you read, you understand the music, the music concept about it. So it's music, we're talking about percussion, notation. It is. And so I skip it a bit because, you know, the music part of it there, like the notation, right? So here is where I show the description of the tassa. So this one is the tassa that I spoke about, the bowl shape, the kettle drum, right? And then I go into details. This is the bass. So the word that we will use from India, like when I being a child, we would have said it's a dole. So now we say it's a bass, right? So I have description of the bass and telling you what the bass, the materials, and how it, you know, the way that the bass created. Then we have the cymbals. you know, say telling about all the instruments individually. And then I do like techniques. So now we're showing you the techniques, the way that you will hold the stick, right? So this is technique of playing the drum, how the hold the stick to play the drum, and we go. So each instrument we have like where to strike the drum. So you know, like different spots you will strike the drum to get the different tones, right? So like the center, you will get a higher pitch. The end, you will get different tone. The tip, you will get different tone. And then I come here where you do practice. So you do like right, left, you know, with the hand, the dominant hand, and you know, play the instrument. Here is where showing the all in writing how you could master the bass. Yeah. Then we come to. I'm going through kind of fast, you know.
But the book is easy to follow along as you're mentioning.
Right. And then, so skip all the techniques, so all the technique with all the instruments, right? So if you see here, small steps of playing, the key aspect of thing, and then it's written here, so it's instruction that you could follow to do each one of them. And practice. So say we practice in one hand at a time, and we get the skills gradually.
Yes.
And then we go down to here. So you're getting better at it. Have like the rules. You learn the technique of the rules. And so this particular beat, right? This is a beat from India.
Okay.
So the word tikora came from a drum that's a tika. A tikora drum, right? And in Trinidad here, most of the bands, when you go to a function, it happened just by continue doing this beat. It come like an introduction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they will do this beat. So I use this technique to you know, like introducing the drum. So you have the drum, you come out, you play, you make sure that people understand. And there's it's like a warm up, but you're introducing yourself with it, right? So this is basically a beat from India. And then I did this one. This is Chutney. This beat, so this have a little story into it. I'm the person who did the arrangement on this many years ago. And the idea came from my deceased mom, played the dola. And here in this nice rhythm, you know. And well, Chutney, now we have a lot of things about Chutney music, but the history about Chutney, I will go how far back it's about. So like women long time will play the dolak for barahi, like when they have the word barahi is when they have a male child, a baby, they will have a celebration, and that time the woman will sing and play the drum. So my mom played the dolak, and that beat was so unique and so nice that I decided that I'll play it on the tassa. And so being the person who made that arrangement, I said, well, this is just fit to do. So I definitely sure that if I bring a drum here, within 2-3 minutes, I'll have you playing this beat.
Wow.
Right? So I use this as one of my main teaching product, because I could use it in words and I create the music, right? So and then I go down to calypso. So we use the word calypso. It's not the voice of calypso, but we use like the rhythm. And now the word calypso, we say, well, we're playing a calypso beat. Trinidadian, well, we know, oh, calypso, we're looking to get calypso. Now, long ago, before we use the word calypso, they will say we're going to play the steel pan beat. Now, here it is. This is because the tassa drum is like a mocking drum. Right? So they will say, I want to be competitive. So I will listen to some rhythm, and because of my skill, I will put it in the drum with my hands, from my hands, and create that kind of music. So I did, so from the steel pan, I don't want to stray from that prayer. The steel pan, so let me say the bass line on the steel pan will be like to-doom, doom, doom, to-doom, doom, doom. And then you add the rhythm to it, and that's how we create that rhythm. So it typically is not calypso, but it's a calypso rhythm or the steel pan rhythm. So some people might use the phrase, oh, we could play in steel pan or we play in calypso, right? So this is, and I said that mocking drum. So it's like a parrot. You hear something, your skills might be so good that I'm hearing this nice piece of music. Sometimes I travel and I hear a piece of music and my mind only thinking music. And then I go to sleep and on the bed, kind of thing, and then all of a sudden I have a rhythm. So I could do a fusion within a beat. I create like a reggae beat. I did that on Tassa. You know, the Punjabi India dole, where they play the dole, they play. I create that on Tassa because, you know, I did a beat for 2009 competition, international national competition here. I did Georgia the Jungle. So you know the old movie, Georgia, dung 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 dung. So I kind of put that into the drums, you know. So it's basically this is where the Tassa drum is about, and it's about sharing, you know, the art and showcasing the history and things. This is where basically the whole book is about.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's really a self-taught book. Everything is pretty clear in the book. When you look at it and then you look at the music guides to go along with it, the annotations, it's very clear. I do commend you for it. It definitely, if I get this book, I know for sure I'll be great in Tassa.
Then I might just leave this one for you, eh?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, so in 2000, not 2000, last year November, I went together with my daughter and my other daughter into PASIC. I don't know if you heard about PASIC. PASIC is Percussive Arts Society Convention. Oh, okay. So that's one of the biggest music drum convention in the world, and that happened in Indiana.
Right.
And I took the book there. I went there a couple times before, but first time I went on my own. And I took the book there and in the presentation about the drums. So at the presentation, I did a display and then I had a presentation. And during the presentation, I asked people in the audience, you know, who would like to come and play the drum on stage? Yeah. And I had a couple of people raise their hands and I asked them if they could read music because they didn't know anything about the book. Wow. So there I just introduced, well, okay, the chutney, well, we went back to the chutney beat and I say, okay, you do this first line for me. And the person, oh yeah, that's cool. And then you do this, yeah, and then you do this. Wow. Well, and just within about 2 minutes, we had a whole band playing on stage. Wow. You know, so, and I know that what it went through UE and through Dr. Chris Balanji, who is a good friend of mine, a colleague, I know that it's sung. But the example, you know, that happened there, you know, it made your heart feel like, whoa, this really works, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Do you have a favorite genre when it comes to playing the Tassa?
Pardon me?
Do you have a favorite genre? So like the chutney, the calypso, or the steel pan. You said you dabble with a bit of reggae. Is there like a favorite genre you like to?
Yes, so beside like these Caribbean style music, I would say Caribbean style, there's a lot of authentic beats that came from India. Wow. So we have like wedding beats. So we have a beat like Indian wedding, Hindu wedding. It have Matikor, and the Friday night, it have special beats you will play for that. And then it have special beats you will play during the wedding time. It have a wedding beat. Then it have, so like, it have calendar, like how the African drums have the calendar. There are a lot of similarity. I have a lot of African friends into the African drum, and when we sit down and we talk in drum music, you realize there's a lot of similarity into the drums. So there's a lot of style and techniques and repertoire that they will use. You asked about my favorite?
Yes.
So my favorite will be, I love to play the wedding drum. Right. Because the history of it. So there are different styles. The style of drum that I play, it's a Bhojpuri style that came from India. So I don't play it all the time because people tend to take your work and create it and change the whole thing about it. But I love to play that because I know that where it came from. So anytime I play that drum, I remember my ancestors. Wow. Yeah.
And why would you say it's important to preserve and evolve this art form?
Well, being around in the drum arena, you realize that it's stray a lot because of the same being competitive and want to play.
Right.
So, for instance, there might be platforms that people play in drum, and people picking up pieces of different, like let me say chutney and calypso. We just using those as phrase, and they will mix it up and do all kind of things because young people just, oh, we like this and we put this together, but not knowing that there are structures. So, by doing this, and I thinking about keeping it into structures, that it will always be there that you could remember, okay, like how I could probably say that the Bhojpuri style wedding drum. I remember that. And that should remain that there is where the roots, the way it start from. Or the Huse. And now I listen to Huse beat. And I remember that what my father taught me many, many years ago. It have changed. It have changed because in time with young people and music and it's stray, it going, but it will reach another level.
Right.
Yeah. 20 years from now, it might be a different style here, and nobody know where the real Huse style is about. Because when you think about, my father always told me that one of the main Huse beat that all over everybody play is Mahatam. They use the word Mahatam. But when I research now, I realize the word is not Mahatam. The word is Matam, and it's the beating of the heart. So the beats is sacred. That when the song of the heart and slow, and they tell the story about Imam Hussein and all these things. It's a sad moment. And now when you listen to Hussein, I'm not discrediting anybody. I'm just speaking facts about the technique. And you listen, they're more into, you hear a lot of soca and more. It become more rhythmic because we tend to feel, well, we entertaining and forgot about what it means. I'm not Muslim, but it have every religion or every art form for a particular way, and you have to do it in the order that it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned the change. So how has the Tassa drums, how are they made, changed over the years?
Okay, so it evolves. When I say evolve, so like long ago, but before I go there, so I have drums like from my grandfather. I have a bass like 112 years old. And I have different Tassa, different shape, different materials.
Yes.
From 1930s, 1960s coming up. Yeah. So now, like this synthetic drum that we use now, basically all we do is just put a drum head on a can and create that, but we play the music is Tassa, right? So, but the drum itself have evolved a lot from the shape, the materials, and long ago was goat skin. So you have to use the technique of heating the drum, to get the pitch, so the drum will develop a tone. And now it come easy because of the synthetic drum. So they are like Remo and Evans and Akiri and those different drum head, people use them. And everybody have their own likeness, right? So it evolved, and in, I think around next May month, for Indian arrival month, we're expecting to do a exhibition in Nales. Still, we are working on it. I think it's going to start around the 26th of May and go down to sometime later in June. So there I will do an exhibition and display all the different styles of drum. So remember, we spoke about the Tassa family.
Yes.
So there are different bowls, different shape, but they all are family that come down now that we have the synthetic drum and still call it Tassa.
Wow.
But we have some of the shape. So I will just give you a few names. So one of the drum that I learned to play with as a child, it would have been a theremin.
A theremin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in India, the drum will be a therina.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then we have dabu. It's a clay drum.
Wow.
Right? So it's a clay drum, and it made out of clay because when you heat the goat skin, the clay work like an oven. So it keep the heat inside to keep the skin tension at a longer time. So it has some more science into to all of this, So the exhibition, there we will display about the different style of drum. So you see like the evolution, you know, it came from and, you know, it developed into.
Wow.
Yeah.
And tell us this, like you said, it's still in the works, but we could look out for it at Nalis. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Noted.
So,
Putting it down one time because I
Yeah.
definitely want to be a part of that experience.
Yes.
And when you compare Tassa music in today's music industry and the importance it plays in culture and our history, you went in a bit on it, but the evolution, that's what you're going to discuss more at the
Nalis. Yeah.
Right. So tell us, how do you feel about being a gold medalist? How does it feel to be a gold medal recipient, the Hummingbird?
I don't like to use the word proud.
Okay.
But I felt honored that being one of the only person to be a Hummingbird Gold. And I'm thankful for the government, you know, the organization to accept me for the art, the work that I'm doing. I mean, it didn't just happen like, you know, overnight, I just come out and say, oh, I'm doing this. So imagine that I working from a child, learning this art form. And I have a quest, you know, to always learn more, you know, get the idea more about the drum, the history, the work. Then, you know, I got a call, I work offshore, so I was working and I got a call, we got a call that they wanted us to play for that particular, that was 2022. They want us to play to greet the guests for the award ceremony. So I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, that fixed. And then I got a call offshore that like, Mr. Kumar, so I thinking, you know, it's concerning the job. Yeah. The woman said, Mr. Kumar, this is personal, you have to keep it for yourself and can't share with nobody. You are a recipient of Hummingbird Gold, so, you know, we will give you a call and you know, tears flow through my eye because, you know, you're thinking that I really, you know, reach here. And I'm so thankful, you know, not only to you know, the people who did it, but to God, because and my family, because the support and the strength and, you know, doing things. Sometimes I do some crazy stuff with drums and going on and on and on and sacrifices. So it feels so good, you know, that, you know, it's like that. And I don't think that I'm going to stop there because I'm moving on higher because I think that there's more room to go. And then I want to be an example for the young ones who learn to play the drum. Because sometimes the young people, when I teach them, oh, you're a Hummingbird Gold. Yeah, they feel good, you know. And I want to do things that will always respect and say, you know, I could follow this pathway. So, you know, like in the drum arena, people will lime and it's a celebration and they play drum. And I think about, this is not the way that it's supposed to be alone. It have to be academic. It have to be a way that the world could learn about it, but I not being there. You know that kind of foresight, you know. So this is basically what it is about.
Wow. And you mentioned the all girls band. What else can persons look forward to, and also how can we get in touch to be a part of it?
Okay, so my all female band started with my two daughters. So back then, Tassa was like female was a man, male dominant kind of thing. And I have no sons. So I decided I'm going to share the art with my daughters. And with that, I start training them at home, and then they grow up and they have friends, you know, and some of their friends, we got them involved, and we created the all-female Tassa band for the first time, so they broke history. Besides making history, we broke the ice because it's not all about men alone. Female involved in the Tassa. So we have the all-female Tassa band. I have a Tassa academy at my home. It's in Princestown. So I do Tassa classes there on Saturday. For the past maybe 6-7 years, maybe tutored over 800 people. You know, they come through, they learn, they move on. I just use figures, right? I'm not saying it could be more, it could be less.
Yes.
Yeah, so, you know, you tutor young people, older people who want to learn. So we don't have an age for this, you know.
Wow.
This is for anybody. You're never too old or you're never too young.
Correct.
So you could learn the art, right? And recently I did a wedding for a guy, and then I realized I tutored him at Naparima College, and he's a doctor. So imagine we have doctors and lawyers. One of our female members, for instance, we have doctors in the female band, we have lawyer in the female band, we have a lot of, you know, so it's not about, oh, we could just play the drum and you have to be of a certain education or whatever. So the TASA Academy, we continue pushing at this to keep young people going. I do tutoring at schools, so I have like 10 schools I work with directly. And what the TASA Academy is basically about teaching the art form. So we do history, we teach them to play from beginning to straight out. Yeah, so I have to give you my number and address with that.
Yes.
Yeah, so we located at the Montserrat Village, Princestown. The Chapel Street, Montserrat Village, Princestown, and my number is 774-7445. It's free to share with the public, it's not a problem because it's to get everybody involved.
Definitely,
Yeah?
definitely. And finally, any last words you want to give someone who probably wants to start in the art form but may have different things that might hold them back from it?
Well, the advice for people liking the art form and want to be the job, purchase a book. Purchase a book.
Yeah.
I mean, the book is available at RIK bookstores, Metropolitan on Arapita Avenue, Unique bookstores. So franchise with more or less all the bookstores.
Yes.
And right now we are working on Amazon. So we want to have it international. So those are the platforms. Someone can purchase a book. I also do the instruments, so someone can get in contact with me. I manufacture the instrument also. And it's about a platform where people also sell drums. So you could have a drum, you could have a book, you could even have a PS stick and learn to play on the table. Yeah? So it have nothing that could hold back somebody because, for instance, you could say like, spend 5 minutes with a book and learn something and learn to strike the stick. You could learn to play. Yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Mr. Kamal, for coming on and sharing the importance of TASA and, you know, preserving it. And before, you know, I let you go, just to get that information out there, did TASA originated in Trinidad and Tobago?
No.
No.
Remember I said that my forefathers came as indentured laborers and they brought the drum.
Yeah.
And I just added a little to it. Imagine, they came in, the indentured laborers came in 1845. The first Huse it had were in Monrepo, San Fernando. That was in 1884. And TASA played here. So it had to have something with TASA.
Yeah.
Cannot invent it here. We improvised and we did different things. We adapt to things to make it different. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yes,
So again, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing the culture, sharing how important it is to preserve it, and how many different things you can actually do with the TASA drums.
Yes.
It was really an honor to have you here with us.
Thank you very much, and you are welcome. And I'm really happy to be here and work with, you know, share my ideas and my expertise about the book and the art form, right? So thank you, for having me.
Not a problem. Guys, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we do have more engaging conversations, so don't go far.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3. Search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available.
I want to get a tattoo.
You really
respond
want
to me. Respond to me how you would respond to me.
The first question I'll ask is why?
Controversial taboo topics.
We get so consumed by church, we forget that we have to live the life of being a Christian outside of the Sunday.
Like you say,
services.
we think going to a service makes us a Christian.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. So here we are about to hear the second time Pastor J wanted to take a tattoo.
Would have been late last year and early this year.
Oh gosh. Hope Unfiltered podcast with Pastor J and Ren.
Our award-winning show is back, and this season promises to be even more exciting than before. What's Up, Doc isn't just a title. It's a call to action for anyone who wants to improve their health and well-being. Join us on this thrilling ride towards better health on WESN Content Capital.
This is Face of Sports, WESN Content Capital. How you felt about the kiss on the lip?
That's the business. I'm nothing to do with that.
I find that was distasteful.
The national senior team, whether you like it or not, that is the model for all other teams to follow.
I'm assuming that the regional requirement may be a much stricter requirement.
This is not about Pro League and Super League. This is a league run by the Normalization Committee that I'm responsible for.
Nobody expected FIFA to fund this arrangement.
If we don't get a professional attitude towards this, we are doomed for failure.
You break the balance, trip the leg, control the body.
They ain't gonna stand put forever.
Why you want the Chiefs to lose so? Why you want the Chiefs to lose so?
They already have 2. Lamar don't
Why?
have.
You're jealous because you know the Chiefs getting closer to the Patriots. Let's go to the last part. Let's go to the last part.
You are watching Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Just give an overview of what exactly is that split arrangement.
Now you don't need to register nothing. You don't need. We can do that another time. But then it becomes a hit, and then everybody starts to want to claim.
The laws that predate many of the independent countries' constitutions are going to be those colonial laws.
We know there are an infinite amount of circumstances that would lead to a murder.
I have a great idea and I have a great concept, but until it's actually expressed, it does not become intellectual property.
Accomplishments or targets of a forensic accountant is to quantify what may have been lost.
We believe we defend criminals and we manipulated the law and we exploited the system.
A responsible journalist will reach out to the person who they have the information on for a comment.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3, search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, The Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378 or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Welcome back. And as we continue to look towards the future, agriculture remains a vital part of our nation's growth, sustainability, and food security. Joining us this morning is Bindra Maharaj, President of the Sales Farmer Support Group, here to discuss how agriculture is evolving and what the future holds for farmers in Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Maharaj, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you and all your viewers.
Lovely having you here with us this morning. So,
thank you.
Going right into it, how would you describe the evolution of agriculture in Trinidad and Tobago over the last decade?
Well, I think we have to change the topic in terms of evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Agriculture is not; it's only declined. There's no evolution.
Mm.
There are some new concepts. There are new issues that are coming up. For instance, like climate change. This is something that we didn't have to deal with in the past. We have to deal with it now. But you see, it's bigger than that. The situation in Trinidad right now, when it comes to agriculture, 10 years ago, it was different to what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say 10, 15 years ago, there was money in the system that farmers could have benefited some which way along the line, which is like, for instance, work that the different ministries would have done is no longer being done.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, there's no infrastructural work for farmers in terms of roads, in terms of ponding. Ponding is like, at this point in time right now in Trinidad, there is hardly any big set of agriculture going on because of water restrictions, dry season. So farmers would spend really, maybe $15,000 to $20,000 during the rainy season to dig a pond that will collect water that would allow them to do farming in the dry season.
Mm-hmm.
But we are at this point of the dry season where we are actually, those ponds are being dried up.
Right. And would you say there have been the traditional farming practices are being lost, and should we be preserving them?
Traditional practices, I would say no, they're not being lost. As a matter of fact, yesterday I was at a lecture from a gentleman, his name is Benjamin Bizur from the University of Curacao. He's talking about syntropic type of farming, which is what we used to do in Trinidad many, many years ago. And that is planting, like canopy covers, huge trees to give you shade, and in between, you're talking about mixed farming, whether it is grass for animals or plantains or bananas in between other crops.
Mm-hmm.
So these traditional type of farming, they're coming back. It is coming back in a different way now, in a more modern way. And that is what I am very impressed about. What we are talking about also is that farmers here in Trinidad, we are actually getting into a little bit more modern techniques, because what we have realized in our group, in the Sales Farmers Group, we are actually getting younger farmers who are taking over from the older folks. And they are learning different styles and different methods of farming. And one of those is like greenhouse farming, hydroponics, and that kind of thing. So yes, while you have some of the old ones remaining, the new ones are gradually taking over, and we are hoping that some of these new processes will happen very soon and will also take into consideration, for instance, flooding. We have been encouraging farmers who have 5 acres and above or anything, whether they can do a 1 acre plot or a half acre plot of their farming into greenhouse farming. Now we have people who are working with us, with our farmers, and they are actually helping farmers to take a certain area, a small area. So if they are flooding out, these areas that they have now for greenhouse farming will not be affected.
And how important, how important is local agriculture when it comes to reducing our reliance on imported foods?
Well, you see, that's a very, well, I want to say the word. The word is, it's a very similar topic to what we discussed yesterday. And this is what it is. We import very close to 80% of our agricultural supplies.
Right.
Now, this is something that we have been trying to address. As a matter of fact, within the last 1 year, our supplies went up from 7 billion to 7.5 billion. So it is going up more and more. What we are saying is that a lot of the imported stuff that is coming in should be done locally. Now, I can attest to the fact that we are doing a lot of it locally. But the people who use these foods and the produce that we have, for instance, let's talk about pineapples, let's talk about sweet potato, let's talk about tomatoes, cassava. We have not been able to penetrate the market. And if I remember correctly, it was under Minister Vasant Bharat that we were able to get sweet potato fries in some of the fast foods outlets. But that has stopped now because we produce in the Felicity area, central area, over 4 million pounds of sweet potatoes annually. Now this all we can do with this is sell it in the market or decide to roll in the groceries. And that is the same issue we have. We have no agro-processing for that item. The same as I'm going to say for the sugarloaf pineapple in Moruga. We have no agro-processing for it. We have no cassava flour processing plant here that will take the amount of cassava that we are producing locally. And not only that, but for instance, why it is we, like for instance, some of the producers who are making ketchup and tomato paste and all those kind of things, we have to bring those things in when we have the local supplies available. The thing about it is that, how do we get this message outside there?
Yes.
Not to the ministry or to the government or to the manufacturers here, the agro-processors. How do we get this message to the people of Trinidad and Tobago to insist that when you go to the fast food outlets, I want to know where your produce is coming from? Where is it coming from? Are your tomatoes and cucumbers coming from outside? How safe is it for us? That's the question. How safe is it for us? Are we getting, these produce coming from outside, and it is not being monitored here locally by maybe, the Ministry of Agriculture? And is it good for us as human beings? And these are the issues that we have to start talking about.
And would you say, or to what extent is the perennial larceny when it comes to it being an issue or a major issue around agriculture?
Well, let's be realistic. That's a major issue. That's a major issue. the first problem we have is that we need a proper pre-deal larceny squad. I have made representations via our group to actually, and we did a pilot project in the Sangre Grande area where the police there called us in to ask us to give some advice and some consultation on what can be done with pre-deal larceny.
Yeah.
We were lucky to have the police not only talk to farmers, but also they were talking to the market vendors. They were stopping and search. They were dealing with these people on a regular basis. It worked because the pre-deal larceny squad was supposed to have opened a outlet in the Grande area, in the El Reposo area. The thing about it is this: pre-deal larceny, the squad is understaffed. There are hardly any vehicles, and it is undermanned. And I am saying to you now publicly that some of the people there need to be trained properly. They need to be trained. They need to be to not only be trained in pre-deal larceny, but they need to be trained in how to get in contact with the farmers, whether there's a group, whether, if you're in the area, something happens, what can we use, via technology? How can we do, what can we do in this situation to get things done properly? And these are the things that we have to deal with. A couple of years ago, I was at Vancouver with our team, and I actually experienced the sorrow that a farmer who had to pick over 2,000 Pollock avocados.
Wow.
The next day he was going to pick it. During the day, the night before, somebody stole all.
Oh my gosh.
And that is plenty money.
Yeah.
He lost about $20,000 in one night. And this is the kind of situations that we have to deal with, So one of the issues is that we were trying to say, okay, we know the pre-deal larceny squad could not be all over Trinidad where all farms are. Farms are scattered all over Trinidad.
Yeah.
So what we were thinking, and the suggestion that we made at that time, like for instance in Grande, is that the police would have an area set aside in the station because there's no pre-deal larceny squad in that area, and we will have officers working from pre-deal larceny accompanying the local police officers on patrol. So one, your manpower will be increased because you have extra manpower in your vehicle patrolling, and you will also now have a link with the police station and the TTPS and pre-deal larceny, because now you can now actually lay charges. You know what I mean? You can actually work now and have the two groups working together as one.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. And you touched on it a bit, but do you think farmers are receiving enough support from institutions and policies? And if not, how can they better themselves to support the farmers?
In the first instance, we have to understand that the ministry is only getting what you call the current expenditures, which is to pay staff and that kind of thing. At this point in time, farmers are not really receiving anything. For instance, all the grants, they're no longer in place, right? We don't know if there is flooding coming up in the rainy season, whether farmers will be compensated, because we know for a fact that money is a bit of a issue. For instance, as I say, the engineering section of the ministry, hardly any work is going on with the machinery they have because of the fact that, they have to get diesel, they have to get repairs in the machinery, they have to take the machinery from one point to the next, that kind of thing. So I think there is a bit of a starvation for farmers. But farmers are resilient.
Yeah.
So they are doing what they have to do on their own. And basically, this is what is happening. Farmers are actually putting money out of their pocket, out of their sales, out of their whatever produce they sell to the markets and so. And this is where they are trying to get things going on their own. Now, we have been able to work with a couple of the regional corporations, and we have been taking some of these equipment that they have, and they are going to help certain places, certain farmers in certain areas.
Right.
We have been successful in that area. We have gotten through with quite a bit. The point I'm making to you is that there's a solution for that. If the ministry cannot do it, then let us talk to the Army, the engineering section of the Army, to assist farmers in certain areas.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The Army has the equipment, they have the trucks, they have the low boys, they have the transport, they have everything going. So why can't we at least use part of the Army engineering section to assist farmers until the ministry can get their equipment together and we can work together with them?
Yeah.
So these are the things that we have to start talking about. How do we get the people of Trinidad and Tobago to understand what is happening to farmers in the country? Farmers are considered to be the last rung of the ladder, you know.
Yeah.
And we need to be, and you know, people don't respect farmers. They don't. They look at you in a different light. So we have to understand that farmers need to be respected, because there's no place in the world you can get 5 pounds of tomatoes for 20 TT dollars, 10 pounds of cassava for 20 TT dollars. Likewise, sweet potato.
Yeah.
You know, but there's also a big need to shift the conversation to agro-processing. And that is where we should be going in a very big way.
Agro-processing. So as you mentioned it, share and expand on agro-processing and how it can improve or help in terms of the farmers and as well as consumers looking in.
Okay, it's simple. We produce peppers in this country and we have the best pepper, right? The most, the bitterest pepper you'll find, the most bitter pepper in the world is the Moruga scorpion. We produce that here. And that is not a generated type, of pepper. It is natural. If we do a barrel of pepper mash for export, we will get about $4,000 US. Wow. A barrel of oil is $100 and something. A pepper mash barrel that can go for export, especially in the scorpion pepper, will get us $4,000 US. The same thing applies to cocoa. The local cocoa industry, we need to get at least the agro-processing, we need to get the cocoa blocks made. And these are big blocks that the chocolate manufacturers want. It's a combination of the cocoa powder, the cocoa butter, and the cocoa fat that gives you so much, so much percent of this, so much percent of that to give you this. So we need to know, what we can do with cocoa. Yeah. I touched on pineapple. We have over 750 acres of pineapple in Moruga, plus we have other smaller ones in the different areas. But the majority in the Moruga area, we have, we can do a processing plant in Moruga also. But we need to get the investors to come in and deal with that. These are the issues that we need to start talking about. How do we get, why did we allow the cassava flour plant to go to Guyana when Trinidad is producing so much cassava? And the cassava flour that we could have done here is free of gluten. It does not, the obesity doesn't arise with it. And the produce that we are doing here in Trinidad, what I can tell you, right, is that we are not being, when we use the foreign products, we become overfed and undernourished, because when you think about it and you eat fast food, in no time you're hungry because there's nothing in it, nothing nutritionally of nutrition value. So your healthcare cost is going to go up here with the Ministry of Health. You're allowing for heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. And these are the three most damaging areas in healthcare that we are talking about right now. You know, so when you interfere with, and you go and you purchase this fast foods, and you're eating this fast foods, and you're eating this set of oil that has been used over and over and over and over. I want to make it very, very clear that, for instance, and this is the point here, if you have an orange or a pawpaw or whatever fruit you have, or whatever vegetable you have, and you don't pick it in the right time, which is like say 10 to 12 days before it ripens, and you export that, then you, if you pick it in the wrong time, you get no nutritional value.
Yeah.
None. And I want to make that very, very clear. There is a science to it. It must be picked in such a way that if it's ripened, it must be in your household to use by the time it's ripened properly. So these are the issues, and you know, you don't want to go and buy your produce, and you just buy it for bulk. You want it for nutritional value.
Agreed. And what would you say your vision is in terms of seeing this agro processing for Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, we have started discussing with quite a few people, but the Sills Farmer Support Group is just a group. We are not recognized by the ministry. Our idea is, well, you know, we talk to the ministry, we talk to the officers, but nothing is really happening regarding things like that. In the last administration, Minister Kazem Ali and I had a long discussion about agro-processing, and the topic was on the table.
Yeah.
I have been trying to meet with this minister, and well, it's unfortunate that he's very busy. But, you know, talking about these things is not really helping. We need to put it into action.
Yeah.
We need to put this thing into action. So, you see, you have to understand, if you start to do, let's say, whether it's pepper mash or let's take pineapples, for instance. And you can do pineapples in terms of pineapple chunks, pineapple jam, pineapple juice, pineapple, you know, the ones that you can, and all those things, and you export it. You are talking about foreign exchange coming into the country. You're talking about labor creation.
Right.
You're talking about technology, teaching people in Trinidad technology, how to work the machinery, how to use, and all the machineries now, you know, all these machinery, they are all computerized.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new area that we can talk about, whether it's pepper mash, whether it's cassava flour, you know, and let me be honest with you. Cassava flour will be coming from Guyana to Trinidad back to the national flour mills. Because if you notice, there's a brand of flour that has cassava flour and wheat in it on the grocery shelves right now. And the reason for that is white flour has gluten, and it is not healthy for the people, diabetics, people who have cancer, and that, and even people with heart disease. So you have to be very careful now as a population who are, you know, I mean, we're talking about over 20,000 people at this point in time who are suffering with different forms of cancer at this time, and it could be more now. And we're not talking about, you know, diabetes is one of the major issues we have to deal with.
Yeah.
So we must talk about getting proper nutrition for the foods that we eat, especially for those people who are diabetic, who are suffering with cancer, because you can't eat every and anything. I mean, if you are diabetic, you have to get something else besides sugar. And everything, if you eat rice, it forms itself back into sugar. We have to be very careful, and we have to start to prepare for people who are ill. I mean, cancer people who are suffering with cancer. You know, you have to do a lot of berries, strawberries, whether it's raspberries, you know, blueberries. We have to talk about a lot of what you call the cabbage and the green leafy vegetables, broccoli. Those are the things that cancer patients have to use. So when you go to the grocery, you're not finding these things in a good way, in a bulk way, because we're not producing it locally. We have to wait for these things to come from outside. We need to start to prepare ourselves, and it will automatically redound to the Ministry of Health having to spend less money in the healthcare system.
And you touched on it a bit, so you've mentioned it before, but do you think enough is being done to bridge the gap between the nutritional values as well as teaching young farmers coming up the importance of farming and being able to get the crops here locally?
That is our main objective. That is what we are doing right now. I must say that our group, we're about 9,000 now, and out of that 9,000, we have about 2,500 young farmers.
Wow.
So it encouraged us now to form a youth group. And a youth group is headed by a young medical doctor, Dr. Adesh Ramlal. He's handling that now, and we are getting now other sponsors who are actually coming now and talking to the young farmers into hydroponics and into greenhouse farming, where it is not like long time where you have to be backbreaking in the hot sun and that kind of thing. Everything now is controlled by a phone, whether it's watering, whether it's everything. Everything is controlled by a phone, and we are having good and proper success with it, because we now have farmers producing scythe, like in greenhouse farming, they're about 24 inches long, normal scythe. We are trying to do broccoli with them. We are trying to get the lettuce that the fast foods outlet use. We now producing as a byproduct of this type of farming, normal lettuce, the bronze lettuce.
Yeah.
And you're getting a lettuce for $4 now. Where in the world you could get a lettuce for $4? Because these are byproducts of extra space and just growing wild. So what needs to be done is like what happened yesterday. There was a lecture on syntropic farming, and yesterday there were about 40 young people there.
Wow.
They're interested because when they go now, they learn new things.
Yeah.
They learn about the nutritional value and when they should, produce, or when they should cut the produce, when they should reap the produce. You know what I mean? So it is something that I would like to tell people of Trinidad and Tobago. And this is it. And I quote, if it's not from Trinidad and Tobago, it is not better.
Yeah, that's a great quote that you have there. And how can the public or the consumers looking on help the farmers out, or help push or be supportive in that field where we can implement these things?
Very simple. There are lots of farmers markets around, and these are where you get the best deals. You have to look, because people need to spread their money now. You need to get value for money. At your farmers market, we have our farmers market, right? And what we have been told is that people can buy now, instead of buying every week in the market, they're buying for every 2 weeks, because of the fact that the goods, the produce is lasting. This is, I spoke to a Chef Shiraz, and 2 weeks after he bought lettuce in the market, our market, he pulled it out from the fridge and he reused it, and he said, look at it. He said, it's perfect. So if you support your local farmers, you can get, instead of buying and you're wasting, after you buy your stuff from the imported stuff, because of the amount of chemicals and so they're using it melts away in your fridge, and people will have experienced that. It doesn't stay long, it doesn't last long. So we have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that the produce that we have here locally lasts for at least 14 days to 21 days in some cases. And, you know, it works that way. Support your local farmers market. That's what we are saying. And the thing about it is this. If you can get provisions from Trinidad, whether it's cassava, dasheen, whatever it is, plantains especially, and these are all stuff that you can get here, and you're getting it at good prices. You know, one lady explained to us that she frees when things are in bulk, when you have things selling at good prices, she freezes tomatoes, she would freeze plantain and use it whenever she's ready. Same thing with provisions. So, you know, everything is here, everything is right here.
Yeah.
How do we get it into the minds of the people to buy local and know that what you are getting locally is better than the foreign ones?
Yeah.
It is better. There's no argument there at all.
And for persons looking on and they're interested to be a part of the farming and to get more knowledge and actually start up in it, especially the young people, because you mentioned the aquaponics, how can they get involved in being a part of it?
This is where we come in, our group.
Yeah.
Now, we have been assisting people. We have been working with a lot of local businesses who are working with people. I don't want to call their names on you know, live TV, but there are people who work with us, who are assisting us with our farmers, our young farmers especially. Because in our group, we're just not a normal group, you know. We have farmers get their farmers badges. We have farmers get land tenure. And, you know, we keep working with farmers to even help them get financing. And this is why we made the call to government that farmers need to be put on the respective boards, whether it's the ADB board, whether it's NAMDEVCO, because you're putting people on these boards and they don't know what the farmers are going through. That's the issue.
Yeah.
You have to know what is going on with farmers. And a lot of these people must understand that, for instance, you know, if you go for a loan somewhere to start a project, why it is you have to go and do everything, get all the documents, you have your come and going, because I don't know. I don't know if they think people that just don't have time. We started a project a couple of months ago called the Artificial Insemination Project. It took those people 1 year to get some money from a financial institution. 1 year. Because it's a new project. It's new. Nobody in the country ever did something like that through our group, where you bring from Canada these different types of semen, whether it's for cows, whether it's for goats, sheep, whatever have you.
Yeah.
And you artificially inseminate them by using an ultrasound machine, and you actually see what is going on because it's a camera, and you actually see this, and farmers are going for it. They are going for it because, you know, the thing about it is that it is available now, but the problem was that in the financial institution, they did not have a category, a program for that, and they refused the people. It was when I had to get involved now and go and say, but you know, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And this is how they got through. And the process is one of the issues we have. It is one of the issues. Now, when the last administration was giving out grants, we were getting through with grants to farmers.
Right.
And that is how a lot of them started off. But all of this it is now under reconsideration with this new administration. So that is a challenge we have.
And based on how much your group does, what are some of the success stories that comes out from it? So for persons looking on, they know that yes, you're putting in the work, but they're also sowing and reaping what they sow.
Okay. And some of the stories are, you know, really good ones. They're getting their funding. We're working with the funding agents. We are getting some funding for them. But what is also happening is that when we do get funding, we actually go to the suppliers, and they are assisting the suppliers. But for instance, in terms of some of the areas that farmers they have a house, but they don't have electricity, and it's costing too much with TNTech to bring the electricity. So we try with a company that we're dealing with to do solar for these giving them solar electricity and solar power now, and it is working for them. It is working for them.
Wow.
Also, we are using a lot of solar power for drying of cocoa. So long ago, you know how we used to open that cocoa house and shift it out both sides, where you roll it and that kind of open for the sun, and then when rain starts to fall, you run and close it. Now, with technology now, we are using solar, not only for the sun, but solar to heat and solar to dry.
Right.
So those are some of the good things that are coming out. But you see, it is moving too slow, because when it comes to agriculture, you need to have government interventions. If you look at the model in Guyana, and we would have seen it, right? You are actually seeing a lot of production in Guyana right now, and guess who is the one who is actually on the ground with farmers? The president himself.
Wow.
And it is something that I admire, because he's actually there with the farmers, giving them the support, and they're getting funding from the government to do what they're doing. And we're talking about 4,000 acres of beetroot, onions, soya. Now, Guyana is placing themselves as the food basket of the Caribbean and maybe the world too. But I am saying Trinidad has to take care of its own.
Yes.
We need to feed our people in case of any emergency, like a pandemic. We need to have our business here done. And that is our objective. Our objective is to make sure that a lot of the fields, like for instance, Caroni had put out a whole set of money to do a whole, all the citrus that they have in Central. And that has become abandoned. And what is happening now is that people are going and stealing from there, selling. Wow. Caroni, that whole project is dead because of Frida Lasny. So you see, we need to have support. Farmers need support. It cannot be done on its own. And this is what is happening now. It has been done mostly on its own.
Yeah.
Farmers are putting the money out from their pocket. They're renting the equipment, whatever have you. The point I am making is that we need to be serious about farming. We need to be serious about self-sufficiency, and what we need to do is to make sure that our food bank is also made. We have to make sure that is intact 120%.
Yeah.
That is my point.
Definitely. And as we wrap up, any closing remarks that you'd like to leave with the viewers, and especially in telling and sharing how exactly our day-to-day rules can actually help out or implement or just make things better?
Well, I want to make sure and tell people of Trinidad and Tobago, and all your listeners, all your viewers, if you're on whatever frequency, you need to support, buy local. Buy local. You need to buy local. It is better. It is healthier. It is even, let's be realistic. It is cheaper. It is cheaper, right? And I want to reiterate in closing, right? If it is not from Trinidad and Tobago, it is not better. And I say that without any apology for anything. If it is not from Trinidad and Tobago, it is not better. Buy what you think it is better for your health, for your family, and for at least, if you, how many people in this country have suffered with some sort of disease?
Thank you so much, Mr. Maharaj, for sharing your knowledge and for the important work that you continue to do in supporting farmers. It was truly insightful to get that information. And as he said, if it's not from Trinidad and Tobago, then it's not better. Guys, as we wrap up today's program, we hope that you've been inspired and you've been getting a new insight on what's happening around us, especially in the agricultural world and in the TASA world. So remember to stay safe, stay positive, and stay informed. Up next, we do have Sean Michael Small at 8, so don't go far. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Bye.
WESN.
If these walls could talk, they'd cry uncle. They didn't plan to become offices or yoga studios, but they've stood by us, even when we got a little stir-crazy. For that, they deserve some thanks. They deserve Benjamin Moore.
The home of Caribbean content is growing, and we welcome you to be a part of the #1 platform for young personalities who are driven to make a positive impact in society. As we continue to reach every corner of Trinidad and Tobago through our daily broadcasts, our social media